Hey, welcome to the Backwoods Gourmet. You know, I was looking back on our channel page here a little while back, and one of our most popular videos is how to make a simple survival bread. Now I've gotten hundreds of comments about another version that doesn't use yeast. That's what we're going to do tonight, so stay tuned. So yeah, like I said, flooded with comments about using, instead of yeast, our good old friend baking powder. So what we're going to do here on this cook is we're going to make the exact same recipe, but in place of yeast, we're going to use baking powder. Okay, we're still going to use good bread flour for our flour, and we're still going to use just plain old salt. And of course a little water. I don't really even count that as an ingredient. Alright folks, let's jump right into this. I'm going to grab my measuring cups right here. I'm going to go over here to our bread flour, and we're going to want 3 cups of this. We're going to use the number 12 Dutch oven today, so we're going to make a pretty good size loaf there. So we're going to go ahead with our, and we kind of level it off just using the side of the bag. You don't have to get fancy. You don't need no little knife, little couple of milligrams or grams here and there. A teaspoon or 2 is not going to make a huge difference. This is like camp cooking, okay? And you can make this dish at camp just as well as we can do it here in the studio. And we are already outside. I don't know if you can hear the rain dripping out here. It's raining tonight. All right, so the formula for flour to baking powder is, for every cup of flour, you need 1.5 teaspoons of baking powder. So 2 cups would be a tablespoon. So we're gonna go ahead and start with 2 cups. And here, this does matter, so I'm gonna level it off that little piece they give you right there, okay? And then I'm gonna just eyeball another half, okay? If it's a little more, a little less, I don't think it makes a huge difference. And for every cup of flour, you're gonna wanna need a 1/4 teaspoon of salt. I have a 1/2 teaspoon measure right there. There's a half, and then I want half of that again. All right, 1/2 teaspoon. That's 3/4 of a teaspoon salt going in there. Now this is important. Really, the only thing you really need to do before you start adding water is just make sure you take your spoon and just mix that very thoroughly. Go ahead and spend a little time on this just to make sure that all your leavening and your salt are evenly distributed all the way throughout your flour. You don't want any spots in there that have more or less. You want it to be really consistent if you want to have a consistent dough. Final ingredient coming in, some warm water. Okay, if you're out of camp, just put one of your Dutch ovens, your cast iron pan, whatever, over there on the side of your fire, and warm it up. I found it works better if it's a little warm. And I want a pretty stiff dough with this, and I'm not going to give you the amounts on water, because again, this is something that just kind of you're going to do by eye. It's going to be a couple of cups, but again, depending on your humidity, your particular flour, your conditions you're in, may take more or less. So I hate when I follow a recipe out of a book, which I rarely do, by the way, and the amounts just don't seem to work. So that's why I'm not really giving you amounts on that. I want a pretty stiff dough here, and it's starting to come together now. And I'm just adding it slowly until it all starts trying to form a dough. It picks up all the loose flour that's in the bowl. It's getting there. Adding a few tablespoons at a time. You can always add more, but it's pretty hard to take it back. That's why I go real slow with it. And maybe just a dash. All right, you want enough in there to get it to form a nice smooth dough. All right, so that looks pretty good. So what we're going to do now is we're going to flour our surface and we're going to turn it out. So we kneaded out our bread, got it sitting over in a bowl. We cleaned up the table a little bit. It's nice and smooth on the top now, okay? I kneaded about 5 minutes and then I started turning it kind of inside out, just tucking it around like you see me maybe do a little bit there in the beginning. It looks pretty good. I don't think I'm going to score the top of this like I normally do with a yeast bread. I don't expect this to rise as much. But we're going to put it right down in the middle of the Dutch oven there. And we got our fire getting ready. So next I'm going to show you the Dutch oven setup. So our coals are all nice and lit right now. I'm setting up for 400. So with 400 with my ovens, I put the same number of coals as the number of the oven. Okay, but I put them all to the outside. So that means I'm going to need 12. Cook time on this is fairly short. Only about 15 to 20 minutes. So we're going to go ahead and get our 12 on there. And we can always adjust these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Need one more. 12. Around the bottom. Let's bring over our Dutch oven with the bread. So knuckle that. And notice all those coals are out to the edge. I don't want any of them in the middle. Alright, let's grab our lid. Now here we're going to load up that rim. And we'll put a few in the middle. So I'm going to put them touching all the way around. No need to count, really. Today I'm using Kingsford All Natural Hardwood charcoal. I won't drop me on my toesies. And you guys, you keep watching and make sure you hit that subscribe button right now, because we're going to be doing some charcoal reviews in the next video. Listen to you guys in the comments all the time. suggesting different types of charcoals. We love stubs, but apparently that's disappeared off the map. I haven't been able to find it anywhere. So kind of looking for some alternatives other than Kingsford. The greatest thing I found about Kingsford is it's available almost everywhere. So let's see how many we ended up with. So I got 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 charcoals on the top, all in the edge. Right? We'll keep an eye on it. Be back and check on it in a little while. Going pretty good. Not getting nowhere near as big though as our yeast bread. If you want to see that video, I'll leave you a card right here. Been a little over an hour. I'm going to go ahead and take it off. It did kind of crack a little bit there. It puffed up a little bit. It's not stuck. It's very dense. I'm going to go ahead, take it off, let it cool just a bit, and then we'll cut into it and see what it looks like. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and put the lid off this thing. Set that over there to the side. Bread looks pretty dang good. I'm going to lift it right out of the Dutch oven. Let's have a chance to cool a little bit. Let's go ahead and take the Dutch oven, put that back there on the table. So there is our completed bread right there. So let me bring you in, and you know, I'm kind of disappointed at how much it rose up, but you know, the proof is in how it tastes. I'll go ahead and slice into this guy here. It's a round bread bun. Woo, sucker's still hot. I'll tell you that right now. See, I don't know if you can see that, but steam is coming off over. And it's pretty dense. All right, it's nothing like yeast bread, but you know, here we're talking about a survival bread in this video. And if this is what you got for ingredients, you know, it might be pretty daggone good. So I'm gonna put a little butter on it. If you're trying to, you know, survive, you're probably not gonna have that, but it's not the case here tonight. So I'm gonna put a little butter on mine, and we'll give it a taste. Alright, so let's go ahead and give it a taste. You know, I want to give you a little history on this too. This bread that we just made here this evening is the very first thing I ever cooked in a Dutch oven back when I was about 14 years old. I did it in the campfire coals, right out in the backyard. And so let's go ahead and give it a shot. I know it's going to be a little heavy, but let's give it a try, see how it tastes. So for survival rations, this is probably going to be a really great recipe. This is going to give you a lot of calories, a lot of energy to get through your day. And hey man, if you happen to have a little bit of jelly or honey or some of those other luxuries to put on top of that, gonna make it way better. So the bread turned out really beautiful. It's very hearty. It will absolutely sustain you in a survival situation for a while. A lot of folks overseas call this Bannock. Here, I don't know what you really call it. But hey, if you like what we're doing, please smash that like button right down there. To subscribe to our channel, you can do it right over here. For another great Backwoods Gourmet video, it's going to be right over there. And for a whole playlist, cast iron Dutch oven cooking, going to be right up there. We'll see you next time.